Robinson, as always, and I'm back again with another episode. And today we have someone special. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
All right, man. My name is Denzel Mayo. I'm originally from Holly Grove, Arkansas. I graduated from the University of Arkansas Little Rock with a bachelor's in engineering technology with a focus in electronics and computers. Man, I co-founded the MIE Book Club a couple years ago. Just an avid book reader and just love books. I've seen what executing on the contents or the concepts within books was able to do for me, and I wanted to share that. Been working for Aerospace company for the past 2 years now. After graduating, I came on full time after interning with them, and that's been a good experience so far. Definitely learning something every day, and I'm also the professional outreach focal for Entitled Learning, which is a educational nonprofit that I'm very passionate about. I've also been working with them for the past 2 years now. And just love being able to give back and get into the classroom with these scholars to expose them to other opportunities that they normally probably wouldn't be exposed to. So yep, that's me.
Yeah, man, I love that, man. I would say, first off, man, how are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally, man? How you doing?
Man, I like that you asked that question. I've been doing good, man. Mentally, I've been doing well. Definitely, trying to make sure I get enough sleep because I know that definitely affects you, mentally as well as physically. I haven't been working out as much as I would like to because of, just putting so much time into work lately, and just prioritizing that. But, emotionally, I'm doing well. But yeah, man, I appreciate you asking me that because I definitely know that affects, every other aspect of life, whether it be work or play or, relationships. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm take care of all three of those.
Definitely, man. That's the only way you can take care of yourself, those three things taken care of. And I asked it because a lot of people don't. And you do the whole podcast and you sitting there and you like, is this person okay, man? Like, they having a good day, good week, and we go through a lot,
Right.
We go through a lot. So in there, I would say, man, what led you to creating MIE, man, and co-founding it, and what is it about, man?
Oh man, so taking you back to college, man. I kind of got into a rough spot, as we all do in our college years, man. At the time, I was attending CAU, actually, and man, I was doing dual degree engineering,
Uh-huh.
and as you get into them high level courses, man, they get rough.
Oh, trust me. We got to talk now, man. I don't know
yeah.
on
So,
my background, but I'm an engineer. I went to Clark as well, man. Same
yeah,
program, everything.
right. So, man, I just hit a rough spot, and at the time, I was listening to a lot of Eric Thomas, and
Mhm.
I ended up reading his first book, which is like the first book that kind of started the whole love of reading. So from that book, I know he recommended Dr. Dennis Kimbrough's Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. So I read that, and I just started reading more and more books. So that it was about 8 or 9 years before starting the MIE Book Club, but that was the genesis that led up to the start of it. And I was part of like an accountability group with one of my mentors, Dr. Ellis, and one of my great friends, Nick. And all three of us love to read because we understand the value of reading, and then taking those concepts and actually applying them. And my mentor, Dr. Ellis, was like, man, we should start a book club. And I always had that thought in the back of my mind. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's go ahead and start it. I picked out the first book, and the acronym actually came from Dr. Ellis, which is motivate, inspire, and empower. And that's what we wanted to do. With the book club, the whole idea is to motivate ourselves, inspire, and empower ourselves, our families, and our communities through acquiring knowledge and applying that knowledge. So it's, with real emphasis on the application, right? Because I always say, I'd much rather you read, the first 5 pages of a book and apply one concept within those 5 pages than to read the entire book and do nothing with it. So that's kind of how we came to found the MIE Book Club. Because just a love for reading and wanting to improve and better ourselves, and just was blessed to be a part, of a small community of those two men who helped to kind of push that.
I like that, man. I like that. So glad I seen the page, man. We started following each other because it's just an amazing thing. Me being now 2-time author, man. I just finished my second book yesterday, and I'm doing the editing process and all that good stuff.
Hey,
And
man, congratulations.
thank you, man. So definitely to see Black people doing that, it's a smile on my face because I'm just like, damn, I'm glad I'm not in this alone.
Right.
Man. So yeah, man. So and I would say, what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
Man, why do I do what I do? I like that question, man. I like that question. I've been blessed to have a lot of help, a lot of, mentors. I definitely did not get here by myself. I don't believe I'm a self-made man. And I realized the opportunities and the gifts and the talents and the resources that I've been blessed with. And I don't want that to, I don't want my life to be in vain. I don't want to have all these things and do nothing with them.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been so blessed to have so much help, within my journey, I definitely want to be able to give that back and to help somebody else along the way, which is why one of the reasons why, we started the MIE Book Club. Another reason why I'm so involved with entitled learning is because I realized that, it was, some people along the way that came back and helped to inspire and to motivate me. And I feel it's only right that I do so as well. Even, one of my advisors at CAU, Dr. O, he was very, uh, a great mentor, not just in the classroom, but just, being able to see how he moves and how he operates. And I remember one thing that he taught us in class, he said that you should always take what you're learning and not just look at how you can profit from it or how you can make money, but how can you give back? How can you uplift your community? So I still remember that to this day. And, like my grandparents, my parents, now that I'm older, I see, some of the circumstances and things that they've had to overcome. And I want to continue to build upon that instead of tearing it down, so, that's why I do what I do.
I like that, man. So in that, tell me about, how did you get into computing to what you do now, working with the aerospace company? How did you even get that fathom?
Oh man. So again, when I was at CAU, they recruit heavily in the AUC.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was, just trying to get an internship to get my foot in the door. And, they were doing information sessions and helping us prepare our resumes, to really put our best foot forth with interviewing. So I interviewed, I got the internship, and that's really how the first door that was open. So getting the opportunity to intern with them. And then my last 2 internships, the manager that I interned with, she extended a full-time offer. So that was a blessing. And from there on, man, it was just accepting opportunities. Because at first I didn't know anything about aerospace. I didn't know anything about really anything about the, IT space. But, the hiring manager that hired me on, she's a mentor of mine now. So, she's always put me in the best position to win. And I actually just talked to her earlier this week. We had a nice tag up. So just taking advantage of the opportunity, man, from, my college days, doing what I was supposed to, taking advice of, Dr. O, of, making sure we get those internships and building those industry relationships and that network. And then once I got my foot in the door, continue to build that network and those relationships, seeing what opportunities are out there, also just doing great work, showing up on time, being respectful and producing quality work, because it's not just enough to get your foot in the door and just relax, but you also got to be able to produce. And, just by doing that, one opportunity led to the next. And here I am now with being a computing architect and doing the work that I'm doing now.
Yeah, man. I think that's amazing. And I feel like I'm thankful I had this podcast to hear, great stories from Black people that go through those things. Because I hear myself in that, with the internships, same with what you said about Dr. O. I was just with him a few weeks ago, man, and he was just like, I'm just so proud of you, see what you're doing, stuff like that. Because he even tapped into the podcast and he's like, now I'm ready for you to come back and teach, and just to hear that, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. It's almost that time. So
Right.
and I would say, man, and it leads to my question just perfectly. Why isn't it so important to, bridge that gap, decreasing people from not being able to get correctly educated in the African American community, man?
Man, that's what leads to all the opportunities. That's
Mhm.
what leads for us to be able to create for ourselves and not to be totally dependent on others. Uh, it was because of, you know, me being able to increase my educational, opportunities is what led me to be here.
Mhm.
It's what led you to be in the position that you're in, right?
Right,
It's what led, me to be able to expand my mind and my experiences and be able to expand my network to be able to, build friendships and relationships with just quality people. So I think, being able to decrease that educational gap um, is so important and vital because it leads to just a better quality of life, and it goes back to that first question you asked, how am I doing physically, emotionally, and mentally?
hmm
Um, it's all encompassing, so it taps into that. It taps into, you know, how are we doing, financially? What's our financial health and well-being looking like? How our relational health, how our relationships, health-wise, right?
right,
So decreasing that educational gap, uh, it plays into all that,
yeah,
So that's why I want to continue to, do the work that I'm doing with entitled learning.
mm,
That's why I want to continue to read. That's why I want to continue to see you doing what you're doing with your podcast, because all of that is helping with, decreasing that and helping to uplift us to where we can create for ourselves and do for ourselves and, you know, really just become healthy in all aspects of life.
definitely, man. And I definitely touched on that a lot with my book now that's coming out of Art of Networking. So definitely got to get you a copy of that because
Mhm.
I was doing, of course, doing the editing process, but going through where I ended the last chapter the other day. And I said, not only do people need to hear this, but like, I feel like it's the first time that I wrote something that was very, very impactful. And I was like, I can't wait till people read this because like it's bigger than me now,
Right.
so then I would say, man, what is one of your ultimate life goals then?
Man, what is my ultimate life goals?
Any of them, man. I know you have multiple.
Yeah, 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 no doubt, no doubt. Man, I was thinking about this last night,
Mhm.
and I remember my grandparents that came to visit a few weeks ago, and to be able to live how they live. Well, of course, I want to take it to the next level,
Right.
but seeing where they're at in their life right now, to where they're retired, they don't have to work. If they working, it's because they want to, but they don't have to work. My grandfather, he gets up and, goes in his garden and cuts grass um, and my grandma, she can, do whatever she wants to do. So being able to do that to
Mhm.
where I've taken care of what I'm supposed to take care of. So when I'm in my 70s or 80s, I can do what I want to do instead of having to do what I, have to do or what I need to do. And then seeing them to be able to, raise, their children to where they're off and they have their own families and they can take care of themselves and their families.
Mhm.
that's one of my goals, man. That's one of my goals is to, if I can do it much earlier than they did, then, that'll be awesome. But to be able to, be in a position that they're in to where, if they come here and visit their kids, man, they don't have to spend a dime. They don't have to worry about, where they're going to rest their head. They're going to have food. They're going to have, housing. They're going to have, they're going to be chauffeured around. So that's one of my goals, man. And another one of my goals, since you brought up, writing your book, is, I want to be able to write my own book as well.
So, and I definitely here to help you, man. I definitely, me and my line brother was saying, because I helped him write his first book, and he was saying, man, I'm just glad I can now turn the page and like help you edit your book. And I was like, yeah, bro, because the first book, I killed it, man. Coming out of college, well, going into the engineering school, I had done it and I finished it and stuff. And looking back, I was like, damn, you did a good job. I got to do this again. But one thing I say is just start. Once you start it, it's gonna be done, and then you're gonna be looking back like, I want to add this, I want to do this, and then you'll know when it's complete.
Right.
So that's fine.
Cool.
Definitely would say do that. But I would say before we do close out, what would you like to be remembered for?
That I was really who I said I was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, people to not know who I really was. You pass away and then, or not even pass away, you live in a double life.
Yeah.
When people speak of me who really know me, I want them to say, oh yeah, that's Denzel. Or if they hear something about me, it's not true, they know for a fact that like, no, that's not Denzel. That's not his character. That's not his mindset. That's not how he was raised. And to just be a man of great character, honesty, and someone that you can really trust and rely on. I always say, even if I'm broke and about to lose my house and lose my last possession, if you leave $1 million in front of me, you will know and be for sure that I'm not gonna touch one dime, one penny of it. So man, just a man of great character, someone who really did care and who was there when you needed them. I hope and believe that those who know me and will know that if I can be there, I will, and if I can't, I'm gonna figure out another way that I can help.
I like that. I like that attitude of gratitude.
Right, exactly.
I like that. I like that, man. So before we do close, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, man. How do you stay consistent with your podcast? I mean, like you said, you just finished writing a book, so I'm pretty sure you got so many other things that you have going. How do you stay consistent?
Stay consistent, man. And I've been thinking about this for a while because it took a break, of course. And the biggest thing is I know that this is like a calling for me. Like I've been blessed with the podcast, been blessed to be able to network and meet some great people and just keep meeting people, man. No matter how much I try to walk away or you try to do something differently, or it still like calls me to say, okay, let's sit down and do this. I could be feeling bad before I'd done this episode. Now I'm good, type thing. But my biggest thing is staying consistent is not hard. When you not only when it comes to content, it's just the mindset that you have. Like how we started it with mental, physically, and emotionally. I go through a lot. Like most people would say the things that I've been through these past few weeks, you can't even fathom how you would be able to do what I do. But I say God, man, my family, amazing support system, and you guys, man, people like yourself, just able to get in touch with you or anyone just to be able to say, okay, let's keep this torch going. Let's see how we can change the narrative. But that's my biggest thing, man. I definitely say when you're doing something that's bigger than you, you're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep feeding it.
Okay, I love that, man. I appreciate that advice.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So yeah, bro, that's pretty much it. That's the episode. Thank you for that question too, though, man. So because there's been a lot going, but definitely was glad to be able to do this episode today.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, man, it was a pleasure. I love what you got going. and want to see you continue to do it. Like you said, you know, everybody has so much going on, but I'm thankful that you persevered, in spite of the things that you're having to deal with. Because I definitely believe you're making an impact,
Thank you.
with the podcast, with your books.
Mm.
So I'm ready to read it, man. So as soon as it drops, man, I'm gonna buy me a copy, man. So I'll be on the
Def-
lookout for it.
Definitely, man. So I look forward to getting up with you soon, man, and talking to you more. And if you need anything, just let me know.
All right, man. Same for you, man. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, then, man. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Have a great one.